So we're going to cover some different things to do with string manipulation today, including changing case, substrings, length of strings, and concatenation. Now I've looked at concatenation before, so it should not be something new for that one, but it will be a little bit of a refresher. This video is probably going to be a little bit shorter than all the rest, due to this being quite a small topic, but it can be very helpful for your programming journey. So why do we actually use string manipulation? Well, sometimes it could be from actually extracting data from a string to be used elsewhere in your program. It might be because you're wanting data to be converted into a different case, to be usable by different functions. Also, it might be to actually make longer strings from concatenation and things like that. So you can manipulate your strings to do lots of different bits and pieces, and it can be very helpful. So we're going to have a look at how this works with OCR exam reference language, or pseudocode. So you can see there that I've initialized a phrase at the top called hello world, and then I've got a chunk of code at the bottom, and what I've done at the end of each line is I've just left a comment to show what it would do, and then when we actually demonstrate it, we'll be able to get it to print out. So we can see here, the first thing, phrase.length, that returns the value, it returns the value 11. It's an integer of how many characters is in that string. This also includes white space. So white space is anything like actual spaces, return characters, etc. We have .upper and .lower. They're quite self-explanatory. They change it either into all caps or all lowercase. So you can see .upper gives me hello world all in capitals. Phrase.lower gives me hello world all in lowercase. Now the next two, .right and .left. And you can see that I'm actually saving that data into a separate variable called section2 and section1. So phrase.right, and it's taken the argument 5. So it's going to start at the right hand side of the string, and it's going to count along 5 characters, and it will extract that out of my string. So you can see that would take world. Same with .left, but that starts at the left hand side of the string, and it counts the first 5 characters because I have put in 5. If I put phrase.left1, that would give me H, for example. Now there is a different way of doing this as well, which would be phrase.substring. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, just because of how it works with Java. Finally, you can see I'm using concatenation, and I'm printing out section2 plus section1, and that's given me world hello. I have made a slight error in this line though, because you can see here that I've not capitalized section2 or section1, but it's capitalized here. So make sure you keep an eye out for that in your actual code. So if we have a look at the Java example, you can see more or less everything has stayed the same. The difference is that upper and lower is 2 uppercase and 2 lowercase. Also, left and right is written a little bit differently, and we use a substring, and we give the index of where it starts and the index of the end. So you can see here with section 2, I've put phrase.substring 6. That means we start at index 6, and we just keep going to the end because I have not given an ending index. Section 1, on the other hand, if I'm just wanting the first bit, we give the starting index, which would be 0. It is 0 base, like with arrays. And I'm wanting to go along to index 6. This is not inclusive, so it goes up to 6, but not including. So that gives me hello. Now you can see on this bottom line, again with the capital letters, just to make it fit on the screen a little bit better, I've not written out the full print statement, but when we actually demonstrate it, you'll be able to see, and that should give me the same idea. So let's go back and we will demonstrate this and see what is actually going on. So here is my Java program. I've called it manipulation, just for strings. You can see that I have made my main method, and I've also put in that phrase hello world. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a series of print statements to actually show you how this is going to work. So let's do system.out.println, and we'll get the length first. So we'll say, let's say length of string or phrase is, and we can concatenate that on phrase dot length, and we'll give that a run just to make sure that that is working as it is expected. I should have 12. There we go. The reason why this is 12 instead of 11 like in the example on the slides is because I've got an exclamation mark there. Okay, let's change it to uppercase then. So system.out.println, and we can say phrase dot to uppercase. In fact, we'll also do the lowercase at the same time. There we go. And what we'll do is, at the top, we can print out the original string, just to show you what we're comparing it to. So if I put an original string and I add on phrase, there we go, and then we'll be able to see. So if we click run, we should then get, there you go. So we've got the original string, hello world, we've got the length which is 12, we've got it all in caps, and we've got it all in lowercase. You can actually see that I'm using concatenation here as well because I'm adding two strings together. Let's try getting the substring then. So let's do, we'll call this string section 1, and we will make it equal to phrase dot substring, and you can see here we've got it there. Returns a string that is a substring of this string. The substring begins at the specified begin index and extends to the character at the end index. So you've got to also think about the length of your strings and things like that. So section 1, I'm just wanting hello. So I'm going to start at 0 and just, like I said, counting out. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we're wanting to go up to here. So let's try 5, and we can go from there. And we'll have string section 2 equals phrase dot substring, and 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, and what we'll do is we will print them out, and we can say section 2 plus section 1. Now let's see if this fully works, because we should get world hello, and there we go. Look, you can see we've managed to rearrange the order of the words. If you wanted a space in there, well, we could just add in a bit more concatenation. Run that again, and you'll see that we'll get there. So this is how you would use string manipulation. Now remember, with these examples, I'm showing you the raw skill. If you're then wanting to use it in your program code, you're going to have to see how you can adapt or use the skill that I'm showing off within your programming context. So always remember that. So just finally, what have we actually covered today? So we've covered changing the case of our strings. We've looked at how to extract a substring. we've looked at finding the length of our strings, and we've looked at how to put those strings together using concatenation again. Like I said, this is quite a short video, and it's going to be quite easy concepts to breeze over, but it can be tricky to master them when you're actually looking at them in your context. So just keep sticking with it and see what happens.